Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I'm really excited to do this review because this is, in my opinion, one of the best, or one of the classic IPAs, and probably the best one, just one of the best IPAs, period. And I'm also excited because I used to be able to drink this whenever I wanted in Pittsburgh, but unfortunately now in North Carolina, they don't distribute here, so I can't get Fatheads, but someone threw one in as an extra. So I got this guy. It's just like a couple of days, over a month old, so should be pretty fresh. But this is Fatheads Headhunter. If anybody knows Fatheads, I mean, they all have the Fathead guy logo, basically. The labels look pretty similar. Some people think it's stupid because it doesn't stand out. Other people think it's great because it's very recognizable. So, I don't know. Everyone has their own opinion. I would say if I didn't know how good their beer was, I don't know if I would necessarily pick it up because of the label, but it is what it is. Everyone has their own opinion on that guy. It is, I mean, you probably saw when I put it up the thing, but it's a IPA, 7.5 ABV. It is crystal clear. I mean, you'll see that when I pour it, but it is definitely a crystal clear classic IPA. So that's maybe crystal clear might have been a tiny bit of overstatement. I mean, you can definitely see through it, but it might have like the tiniest bit of cloud. But that might just be because of how I poured it. But as you can see, it's let's say generally like a darker orange color, almost a copper color. I'd say it's pretty standard of a West Coast IPA color. With about a 1-inch white head that's sticking around a little bit. The aroma is just flush with pineapple and peach. There is a very little bit of like a citrusy orange character, and then also just like slightly floral as well. It's basically all the hop goodness without the other all the other stuff that comes in a haze bomb. Also, you can pick up a little bit of a caramel, like malt backbone, but it's very minimal. It definitely smells super fresh. Man, I forgot how good this is. I will say that because it was just on tap at a lot of places in Pittsburgh, I rarely bought bottles of it because, you know, if I wanted it, I could just, there's a lot of different bars that I could go to and drink it. I didn't have to go to the Fatheads in Pittsburgh. And, you know, they do bottle date, and I know their stuff turns over pretty quickly because it's so popular, but again, I usually always feel like I'm going to get something fresher if it's on tap, but that's only the case if you get it from a place that you know has clean lines, obviously, because there are some places in Pittsburgh that have a lot of beer, but they don't have the cleanest lines, so you're not going to get a good product. See, to me, the difference between this and like the traditional West Coast IPAs is like you get that really, really dry hop burst at the beginning, and it's like I said, it's pretty similar to pineapple peach, but it's very, very dry. It's not sweet at all, but you get those flavors, and then there's a kick of bitterness in the middle, but it's not overpowering. But then it falls into a nice, like, lightly caramel, slightly sweet finish. It's really dry up front, and then it's slightly sweet in the back end. The bitterness does not linger at all. It's I mean, the sweetness to me is just a balancing. It's not a sweet IPA at all. It's still pretty dry, but it's just a really, really nice balance to it. And I will say too that it definitely one thing it does not do, and I will say the same thing with Hop Juju, but I mean it can be good or bad depending on what your perspective is. It does not hide the alcohol very well. And when I say hide, I really mean hide. It doesn't taste super boozy, but you can tell that it's a stronger beer. It's not like, you don't feel like you're just drinking like a 5 to 6% pale ale. You can tell you're drinking something that's close to 8%. But that's fine with me. I mean, it's, to me, it probably makes you drink a little slower anyways, because you feel it coming down your chest a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is just as clean and drinkable as it ever was. If you have not had this, and you just are newer to the game and you like most of the hazy stuff, but you haven't had a lot of the better traditional IPAs, definitely seek this out. It's very easy to get as long as you get a hold of someone who lives in the Midwest, like PA, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, because it's pretty widespread there. And if you're close to Ohio, then it should probably be pretty fresh. But I mean, I would recommend trying to get someone who lives in Cleveland, because they can get it from the brewery like a week after it's bottled. So, yeah, this is, I always hear people say in Pittsburgh, because that's where it started, so there's a lot of huge Fatheads fans there, that even with all these great hazy IPAs, they would rather just drink this all day than that. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. It's just going to all the different breweries, that's what I drink, because that's what they're making and it's good. But every time I go back to this, or like Hop Juju that I did 2 months ago, that I wish I got more than the 4-pack that I did. If you can get this fresh, to me, this is like, I wish they made Sunshine Daydream's pretty good, but to me, it just doesn't pack the punch that this does. If they could make something that tastes like this but was like 5%, I would never buy another hoppy beer ever. Assuming it's in the same price range, where it's like $2.50 to $3 a bottle. So, yeah, that's my opinion on this. In my scale of buy, drink, dumps, is absolutely buy. It's now, East Coast used to mean like bitter and just bitter and really malty and caramely, like Hop Devil. Now if you say East Coast IPA, most of the people think of like Northeast or New England, and then and the West Coast is super dry, bitter. So really, like this Midwest hoppy beers, I kind of liken this, Two Hearted, Alpha King, like those in the same thing, where they really are. It's like they're in the middle between those two styles of beers, not the hazy one, but the old school East Coast IPA versus the West Coast IPA. They have that really strong dryness, but they have they still have a malt character to them as well. So. And they're not super bitter. Yeah, but to me, this is definitely the best example of that style by far, and I think it's one of my top 5 IPAs. Definitely one of my top 5 traditional IPAs. So, yeah, I can't really say anything more about this. It's just an awesome beer. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.